Hey everybody, it's BassingGal, and I am here to do an unboxing for Big Sexy Baits. They're out of Washington State, and they, as of the spring of the year, they became one of my favorite plastic companies. So just to, real quick, I'm going to put their website in the comments, but just so that you know, you can check them out at bigsexybaits.fish. Okay, not .com, .fish, because I mess that up all the time. And just, you know, just a kind of a little bit as far as, you know, perspective from me. And, you know, this is kind of a preference per fisherman, you know, like there's debates on and arguments for both sides. And my dad and I completely disagree, which is tough because we fish out of the same boat. But, so when things get tough, and you know, we all have those days on the lake. I have them more often than not. But when it gets really tough, you know, I tend to want to downsize and slow down. And some people are, you know, we're gonna speed up and throw the biggest bait that we have. You know, and that's just not me. I think that, you know, slowing down and throwing something that's a smaller profile can increase your number of bites, you know, so if you're trying to get that first bite, fill out the limit, you know, whatever it is, I think it will increase that for you. But I also don't think that a big fish, you know, your big mama, your kicker fish, your, you know, whatever you call her, I don't think that she's going to turn away from a finesse bait just because it's a finesse bait and then take, you know, my co-angler's big bait. I just don't think that that's going to happen. Maybe, I don't know, but I'm still going to stick with, you know, what I feel comfortable. So, Big Sexy Baits makes the most phenomenal finesse baits out there. And they are durable, you know, they're not like, well, I won't name the company, but everybody probably, it's probably the first company that comes to everybody's mind, but it's super expensive and it's a great bait, but it is a one fish and throw it away bait. And these are not that. So, and this color is one of my favorite colors that for whatever reason they don't sell it around me anymore, and it's really frustrating. So luckily Chad does. So the color is Kudzu, and this is his Mayhem. Okay, it's only 2.75 inches. Let me get one out of the bag for you. You know, look at the grooves in that. Okay. I mean, it is small and it's very buoyant, yeah. Okay, which means if, you know, you throw it out there, it is going to sink very slowly without a weight. And there are so many ways that you can fish this. You can fish it on a Ned rig. You can drop shot it. You could put it on a small Texas rig. I mean, literally, you could fish this. I mean, even a Carolina rig. Literally, you can fish it any way that you want. I like to fish this Wacky Rig, if I can. And the reason that I like to do Wacky Rig is I just love the way a Wacky Rig falls. But because of its slow fall, and you know, it's always you're gonna get hung up a lot, and it is frustrating, but I like to throw it up under a log, you know, or in the shade in the summer, where you know there's fish laying there. But if it's a tough day, you know, where you might go in there with, you know, topwater crankbaits, a bigger bait, you know, anything like that, where they might not go for it. Sometimes if you can go in there with a a smaller bait that just kind of barely goes down there, you know, and it's in its face for a little bit longer, sometimes you can yank a big fish out of there. So that's what I mean, that's just how I like to throw it. So I love the Mayhem. And I will throw it on a Ned rig. I've thrown it on a drop shot. You know, so I definitely recommend it, and play around with it. It is so versatile, like you just can't go wrong with it. And this is another color that I like. I like this color when I'm fishing further south in Kentucky. You know, when I'm fishing Nolan Lake, and, you know, Rough River, and Taylorsville Lake, you know, when I'm fishing those lakes down there, that's my color. Lake Cumberland, that's the color I'm using all day long. Dale Hollow, same thing. Dale Hollow's looks like gin. I mean, it is just gin clear. So that's it. Now up home where I live, you know, I'm close to the Ohio River. A lot of these, you know, little lakes and impoundments and stuff that we fish tournaments on, it's really dark water most of the year. And this Black Nasty, I love it. It is a black, and it's got, if you can see it, it's just got a little bit of purple fleck in it, and I love that. And one of the local lakes that I fish a lot of times, it has grass on it, and I'll throw it out just right in front of the grass, weedless. So I love that, and I really, appreciate them. They also sent me some of my favorites, my Wacky Rigs. You know, I use these for Wacky Rigs, Ned rigs, so I definitely appreciate that. And he sent me quite a few of my Mayhem and the Kudzu. But these are just, you know, these are the ones that I throw the most. They have so many things on there that I highly recommend. I mean, they have an entire, on their website, they have an entire section which is listed as the finesse zone. And you know, the Mayhem is on there. They have a what's called a Nemesis on there, which is like a really small swim bait, which is great for like a trailer on, you know, a topwater, spinnerbait, chatterbait. They have a what's called a Jimmy Frog, which is, it's just awesome. You know, you could fish that on, I mean, I've actually Texas rigged it before, but you could also throw it on top of matted grass. They have what's called a Mischief, which is kind of like a grub. And my favorite in the spring is their Newt. You have to look at that thing. It is just, it is a beautiful lizard. It is so cute. But it is great for the springtime. They have some great colors in it, and the tail on that Newt is awesome. And I actually put up a video on Instagram where I was just showing the action on the Newt right by the bank. I just went out and I wanted to see how it worked. So you can actually check that out on Instagram. But then they also have a Recluse Crawl, which is like a creature bait. It could also be a great jig trailer. They have what's called a Chaos, and it's kind of similar to like a Fluke. And then they also have what's called, it's called a Riot, and it has like the head of a fluke, but then it has like a tail of a trick worm, and it's, you know, it's really smooth and it's very buoyant. And so that is perfect for a drop shot, because it's going to be, you know, a little bit off of the bottom, and it's going to come off of the hook, and then that tail is going to be a little bit above. It's going to be trying to float up, and so if you're down there twitching it, you know, then it's going to look like a bait fish that's, you know, that's injured. So and they've got great colors. And then the other thing is their Hydra Stick, which, I mean, it's definitely different than the Mayhem, and it is bigger, but you know, my favorite color in that is the Wicked Pumpkin. Just that, having that little orange tail on it, I love that, especially for the spring, you know, because your oranges and your reds, I mean, you can't go wrong in the spring with that. But you know, it's got really deep grooves in it, and so it's going to move a lot of water. And you can wacky rig it, you can finesse it, you can Tokyo rig it. It's another one that you can Ned rig, you can wacky rig. It is very, very versatile. And that's one thing that I love about all of the baits, is that they are versatile, and you can make it your own and choose how you like to fish each one. You know, so I absolutely love the big sexy baits, because I know that you know, I'm gonna get my use out of them first. You know, I'm not gonna run out of them really quick, because they're not a one fish and throw away bait. You know, that they are very durable, and they're great colors. I mean, it's quality, and they're fish catching, you know, so you can't beat that. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I'll put the information, you know, in the comment section. If you have any questions, you know, in addition to what I've put out, if you want information on, you know, how I've rigged any of these up or anything like that, definitely reach out to me. You can reach out to me on Instagram at BassingGal, on Twitter at BassingGal, and on Facebook I am at just Barbara Harris on Facebook. So I'm very easy to find. So anyway, I hope this was good information for you. I hope you're able to, you know, get some of these and catch some monsters. So anyway, love everybody, good luck, and remember, when you catch your fish, it doesn't matter if it's a dink or if it's a monster. Kiss them where they don't come back. Later.